I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, and many more cool things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures, including new Netflix anime series. This is episode 2004, or better said 204, not 2000, we're still not there yet. And this episode is all about an adaptation on Netflix of a video game series called Onimusha, which is a samurai/action series of video games that became a really cool anime that I had the pleasure of watching recently. But before I get into that, I just want to do a huge thanks and say a huge thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, because you really make this podcast possible. Without your generous and monthly donations, I wouldn't be able to continue making these episodes and to reach what is now 204 episode, which is amazing for me. I would never believe it that I would be able to continue doing this, but thanks to your generous and regular donations, I am. So for this episode, I want to talk about this adaptation that you can find on Netflix and why it is pretty impressive and something that I feel hits most of the marks that any good adaptation should. First of all, it follows a historic character of Musashi, who was a legendary swordsman from ancient Japan. And it covers at the same time a supernatural theme, a topic that is one of greed, lust for power, but also rising of the dead and demons, all of which are happily and compactly placed inside of a single series that is a one-off. It has a limited amount, I'm thinking 10 or 12 episodes, I'm not sure presently, which tell the tale in a single prolonged narrative about this band of samurai that take on unwillingly or through bad luck, let's say it like that, a force of growing evil. There are plenty of really dark and sinister moments in the series. The whole anime is very much adult oriented. There is a lot of violence, but at the same time it manages to kind of delve into philosophical questions about revenge, about purposeness of one's actions, and many more issues that are well developed and well presented in the series. The same goes for character development, which sometimes is somewhat stereotypical for anime, especially historical anime that is set in ancient Japan, but still manages to avoid any massive, huge tropes that would basically diminish the experience. Of course, the series is based on a series of video games by Capcom, but if you didn't play them or ever heard of them, you will still be able to enjoy this piece of really well crafted art. In my view, something that is presently one of the better anime series, adult anime series on Netflix, even though there is plenty of those, including the Blue-Eyed Samurai, which is also Samurai Tale presently going on Netflix, which is also managing to impress many people. I didn't watch it, but I'm planning to do it pretty soon. So this would be a big recommendation if you're into anime, if you're into adult animation. Check out Onimusha. It's on Netflix. It's well worth your time, especially if you're into the period of ancient or medieval Japan and the samurai culture in general. You're going to love this series. So there you have it. That's all for this episode. It's a short one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did watch Onimusha, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of it. If you're planning to do the same, watch it. Let me know when you do, of course. Now there is a bunch of other ways how you can support me if you found this podcast interesting, but the simplest, easiest and cheapest is to simply subscribe and be here for my new videos. Once more, thank you for being here, have a great week, and I'll talk to you in precisely 7 days from now on episode 205. Until then, bye bye.